Hey guys, welcome to Stanley's Parable, episode number 2. If you haven't seen the first one, go check it out. Link will be in the description. Without further ado, here is the video. Enjoy. Okay, so I'm back here at the beginning of the game.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, let's see what happens, guys. What if we go here and go to the right instead of the left?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sure, that's what I'm doing here. So I finished the game, guys. Thanks for watching, but we're gonna play some more because that's fun.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nah, that's not the way it's gonna be. I can see, from what I've seen so far in this game.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I feel like you'd never be done playing this game. That's pretty cool. Oh, I don't have $1,000, but that's okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Who?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
I'm asking for you. Oh, her? What? Her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Who's her?
She's been waiting.
Who's her?
That's her, Stanley.
I'm answering the phone, okay? Okay?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay,
Hi.
There we go.
Hi.
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your
Duh.
Gotcha.
Got me.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Can you, disappear, person? I don't like you.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Ooh. Good morning, employee 427. Press X on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
I shouldn't have pressed the button, guys.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I'm not gonna press 6. Do I have to press 6? I don't want to. Fine.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
But I don't want to. Can I press any? Fine, I'll press.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Exactly. I also just noticed I got a notification that I got an achievement that's called "You Can't Jump," and I noticed that. I keep pressing spacebar trying to jump. But anyways, let's press.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What's going on?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Am I supposed to be doing something other than just standing in this room
But
listening
there
to
is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Pretty boring.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer.
I
That as
can't.
long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself.
I'm gonna go find.
But he
I'm
won't
gonna
listen
work at
to me.
McDonald's
He
instead of
won't
this.
stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Beat. I'm doing it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
I want to
How can I
find
get him
out
to see what
what's
I
going
see?
on.
How can I make him look at himself?
You can't. Can I not press it? Can I just wait? No, I have to press it. Have to press it? Fine.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I
The
don't
time
make the
has been going
rules.
pretty fast.
I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
You must.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
And Stanley pressed a
pushed
button.
And I
Uh-oh. Did I die? Stanley, did you die? Please no. The end is never, the end is... Oh. Did I die? Did I lose again? Am I supposed to die this often? Am I just bad at this game?
All of his co-workers were...
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the very first thing as we did the first time.
Stanley decided to
But
go
we're
to
gonna
the
press
meeting room.
on instead of
Perhaps he had
off.
simply missed a memo.
Everything the same, but on instead of off. When he asked to, like, turn everything off.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How is this? I don't even understand. I think I'm playing this game wrong, guys. I think I'm playing this game
Yet
wrong.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
playing this game wrong, I'm
Stanley
sure of it.
decided to go up to his boss's office.
Let's go down,
Coming
actually.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So dark and scary. Ooh.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
No.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for
Yeah,
that.
you never know.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
You are crazy, man.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
You are crazy.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him?
I have been
wherever
wondering
he
that.
went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
I am crazy.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Yeah.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts. Thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
Yes.
Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside
so
this
beautiful.
one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Let me
I'm
wake
through
up.
with this dream. I
I'm
wish
done.
it to be over. Let me go back to my job.
Please.
Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please.
Please.
It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Please.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Still there, Stanley. Still there.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be.
I must be real.
Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Think I died again, guys.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
I'm a girl now.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I'm
pretty lucky.
I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Nice.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Run, little girl, run, 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 run! And that is all for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing the next one, don't forget to subscribe so you get notified when the next one's out. Also, please leave a thumbs up so I know you like this kind of stuff. And don't worry, as I play this game, I've been getting some crazy endings that I can't wait for you guys to see, including babies dying, Minecraft, and way too many buttons to press. But that's all I'm going to say for now. Hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye.